This is Laura Mafka, aka Rogan Azrain, and in today's video I want to talk about this is your last chance to wake up or perish. And I think many people, they're just asleep nowadays, guys. Our society is totally done for. Many of the children that you see growing up now, they're not going to have any real guidance. They're not going to have any hint or clue on any social dynamics of how you act with the opposite gender, how you should convey yourself in public. They won't have any idea what it's like to be a normal human being whatsoever, because their minds are so hooked to this technology. They're going to be more AI drone like. They're not going to have their own distinct individuality. And if they do, it's going to be very few of them that have that, because many people right now, they're brainwashed. They're going along with the agenda. They're still believing in delusional fairy tales that these boomers told them when they were younger, because a lot of our boomer parents, they told us things like, oh, just work hard, just be like me, and let things just come and go and you'll be all good. You have to toughen up. You gotta force things to go your way. Might makes right. And what a lot of these people did not understand when they were raising children, the boomers, right, is they never could have predicted that they would have children in a new timeline where the food prices are high. They can barely afford anything. They can't start a family because the relationship between men and women is just beyond damaged. It's non-existent now. And I should say it's almost getting there fully, because you are now starting to see a lot of more men that are actually better looking than the average guy that are now having issues in dating. And even on the woman's side, a lot of them, they are valuing the man's looks way more. They're valuing his material. They're not looking at his character. They're not looking at his morals. They aren't looking at his aspirations of what he actually wants to achieve in this world. So when you look at it from this standpoint, you can understand that our society is totally finished, because a lot of people are totally damaged. They're never going to wake up. And these very few people that you are going to see in our generation that are having kids in our population, you know, whether you want to argue it's still a good amount of people that's populating the world, whatever, right? These children are going to be lost, because the people that are having these children, they don't have anything about them that makes them qualified to raise a child. And secondly, they know how worse the world is becoming. People are becoming way more asocial. People are not able to create long-lasting relationships anymore. And people on this planet are becoming way more violent. They're total lunatics nowadays. And their behavior is going to continue to get worse, and these people end up having children, and their children end up becoming a victim of someone else's actions, or they end up becoming a person that is a part of the problem who victimizes other people. So the same cycle continues, because there is no real mental guidance. There's no emotional awareness of how their children feel, and the society as a whole, they aren't trying to lift each other up. They're not trying to give back to the community together. It can't just be a few amount of people that are trying to give a helping hand to other people. Everyone has to be doing it. The people with money especially have to be doing that. But that is just a delusional pipe dream that a lot of people love to think that is going to happen one day, when in reality, humanity comes nowhere close to being understanding, using logic a lot of the times. Because let's face it, we're told, especially with men, that we're the most logical gender. But in reality, if men were so logical, then They wouldn't start wars with each other. They wouldn't try to fight each other over women, over material. They would look for ways to avoid those things and calculate things in a more diplomatic manner without resulting to senseless violence where people lose their lives. And just when you look at humanity as a whole, we don't have a good history. We don't have a good marathon of helping other people as a whole. You know, the times where you see people coming together trying to help other people, be generous, make more communities thriving where people can live and be successful. These are very few moments compared to all of the negativity that we see going on in the world, because we have to understand miracles are rare and tragedies are common. Because you look at today's world, many people, they are totally lost. They're gone. It's like talking to the wall when you're talking to a lot of these people, because they're never going to be able to hear you and actually understand what you're saying, because people have selective hearing. They hear what they want to hear from you, and they discriminate and deny you once you tell them something that their ego fundamentally disagrees with. Because if they started to actually think about what you were saying from a very logical standpoint, that means that they would have to dissolve their ego. And dissolving the ego is not an easy matter to do, because so many people have biases attached to their ego. They have an identity that is so strong and is just so superficial, that is so ingrained in their ego, where they can't see anyone else's point of view. And this is where our society is nowadays, where we cannot have productive dialogue. We can't come together with other people and have more cool communities where people can just give their opinion and say so, and we still can operate as normal human beings and have families and have communities where people can still somewhat stick together. We don't have any of that going on anymore. And the very few times in the past where we did see some progression of people still having friend groups, people still having relationships, these were based on metrics that were actually balanced, at least. You know, if you were a person that was able to have a blue collar job to get around and take care of yourself, that would be enough for you to be able to work your way up the ladder somewhat and have some type of success. But overall, when we're talking about actual abundance, when we're talking about people who are in the big leagues of achievements, that all comes down to your destiny. That comes down to your luck. And a lot of people don't like hearing that because it rubs them the wrong way. And many people right now, they suffer from main character syndrome. They do. Especially on the side of when it comes to the dating world with women, they suffer from main character syndrome a lot, where they think, oh, because I'm an attractive woman, I can get any man I want. But they still can't maintain a man. They still can't pick a man that actually has good, decent character, versus looking at superficial metrics about how the guy looks, etc., and his resources. They still are unable to pick a man that is competent in the moral psyche. So when you look at it for what it is, many people are going to continue to stay lost. They're never going to get better. Our society is going to continue to get worse. And this is your last chance to wake up or perish. Because if you still think you're going to find everlasting love, especially as a man, you're a fool. You're done for. You might as well just hand out your money to women. You might as well just donate your whole freaking life to some woman for her to have total control over you. Because you, in this society, as a man especially, you are not going to get anywhere with how things are set up now. And even the little success you may be able to procure over the years, that's going to come with a lot of turmoil. That's going to come with a lot of self-managing that you have to do in order to protect yourself as well. Because staying vigilant 24/7, that requires you to question everyone around you. You have to look at everyone carefully. You can never allow yourself to get hooked to emotional connections with people. You know, a lot of people have this mindset of just go with the flow, just see where life takes you. No, when you think like that, you are setting yourself up to be exploited. You are going to be blackmailed by people possibly if you think like that. Because many people, they look at openness as a vulnerability. When you are too open, that gives your enemy a chance, who could be disguised as an ally, as your fellow friend. It gives them a chance to destroy your life in essence, because you are not carefully thinking about, what am I actually doing here with this person? What is this person actually giving me in order for me to actually be dealing with them? What is this person doing for me to actually be talking to them and giving them my time? You have to be very thorough with who you allow into your life, because many people, they're gone, they're asleep, and they want you asleep as well, and they will ruin your life. They will go around people that may be your family members, that may be your friends still for now, and they will ruin your reputation. They will come up with all types of schemes and lies on how they're going to sabotage your relationships that you may have with people right now. A lot of people have a horrible habit of doing this whenever they see you're a person that they don't like for some reason. And this is why I tell you guys, this is your last chance to wake up or perish. Because many of the things that you see in today's society, it has been inverted in order for you to enjoy agony, because they have mixed pleasure within those things, such as you putting yourself out there to find a partner, you putting yourself in different social environments in order for you to make friends, you trying to apply to the next job and then getting rejected, all for another person that's already hired by that job, who's interviewing you, right, to just give you little glimpse of hope, and then they reject you again. This is how this society is built. It is built upon you allowing them to put you into a state of confusion. And when you have certainty in your mind, when you can see things more clear and you can be more direct and you can call out things for what they actually are, then it's harder for people to be able to exploit you. They can't get over on you as easily as they could have before. And this is why I say, start practicing working on your discernment, because many people right now, they're gone, dude, and there's nothing that you can do to actually help these people, because they're going to continue destroying people's lives. They're going to continue being a societal destroyer. They are going to continue trying to berate you and put you down, because that's all they know how to do. That's just how it is with a lot of people. This is how people are naturally going to become. So you have to work and find out different ways of how to avoid that nonsense. But this is the last chance to wake up. Take it or leave it. But you guys take care. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate on in the comment section. I highly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the model woman. Thank you.